Hey guys, this is Seth Waters. I'm going to be tying a Musky leader here. I'm showing you guys how to do that. There's a number of ways to do it. There's a lot of good ways. This is just the way that I found works best for me. It was introduced to me by a gentleman out of Boulder Junction, Wisconsin that runs a fly shop called We Tie It. He also guides over there for muskies as well. His name is Bill Shearer. So as I do this, I just wanted to give some credit to him for showing me a really good way to hook into muskies that's going to be really good. The reasons why I like this is because it's a quick change for flies when you're out on the water. It does use some wire, but I can be out there and I don't really have to carry wire cutters with me or anything like that. It also has a swivel in line so that when you're casting, your flies want to twist. It doesn't twist your line up, but it's a fluorocarbon swivel, which is pretty cool. What it is it's this stuff. It's called an Invisi Swivel, and you get 5 of them in a pack. They come at different pound ratings. I think all the way up to 80 pounds. These are 25 pound, I believe. So I'll go ahead and tie this for you and get this knocked out. Okay, I'm going to start with a butt section, probably 4 feet of 40-pound Maxima. Starting right off there with that. And perfection loop right from the top. That's going to connect to your fly line, whatever you're using, floating or sinking. However, you're going to go ahead and tie that section up. But that's going to start with a perfection loop. So you can look up ways to do that on other YouTube channels, I'm sure. They're probably going to show you how to do it better than I would. So, all right. There's your perfection loop right there. That perfection loop is going to be your butt section, so I'm just going to set that to the side for right now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take something called Knot 2 Kinky bite wire. That's K-N-O-T, the number 2, and then the word Kinky. This is a really good wire that doesn't kink on you, hence the name. I'm going to take about 12 inches of it. I'm going to cut it off. And I want to say a couple things about this wire before I go ahead and show you how I connect this. I really like this wire because it doesn't kink, and I've used stuff like Toothy Critter, right? Where, you know, I go out to Devil's Lake, North Dakota, and I fish for pike in the springtime. And it's every cast you're hammering a pike. And after every fish last year when I was out there, I was trying to use that Toothy Critter stuff. And that nylon coating peels off. When the fish hits it, it gets it all kinked up, and then you literally have to take your fly off, cut 4 inches of that wire back and tie it on. So you're running through a spool in a whole day of it while I'm up there. This stuff, I've never had that issue. And what I do is I pre-tie it to my flies. So if I take here and I show you some of the flies that I use, I pre-tie it right there. I leave it spooled up just like that in my fly box. And you can see I have a swivel attached to it right there. And it doesn't have memory, so like, you know, this thing's been curled up for a while, and if I undo that and I show it to you, that straightens right out, and it's right there. It's not holding like any twisted up memory or anything like that. So go ahead and put that back together. But I do that with a whole bunch of different flies that I've got, and they're all just ready to go in my box. And what that allows me to do is when I want to change a fly, I can literally just grab and cut the mono, tie that swivel right on, and I'm ready to go. It's as fast as changing a fly, like if you're dry fly fishing using streamers without any kind of leader. It's great. The other thing that's awesome about it is these swivels are plastic, or they're fluorocarbon. They will bend 180 degrees without breaking, and the reason why I like them is because they're plastic. They're not going to sink. They're not metal. So another great thing. One more thing about the bite wire as we're rolling here that I'm going to show you. It's single strand nickel and titanium, and what that allows it to do is it has a 10% stretch. So when you grab this, I've got it tied onto a ring here and a ring here, and what I'm going to do is I'll just pull on it. You see that? That's it. That's as far as it goes. It's a quick stretch and it's done. So it's like a shock tippet. Guys use this in saltwater, all kinds of cool applications. The way that I attach that wire to my fly is with the perfection loop. All right, this is the wire. I make a loop in it just like that. All right, I'm going to slide my fly on this side. Many of you can go and like I said, find another YouTube channel that will explain this knot to you. It's not too complicated, but I'm not going to explain it well enough to get all of your questions answered. So I'm just going to tie it here. I know how to tie it myself. Wrap that around. Oh, hold on. Maybe I don't know how to tie it. There it is. The reason why I like that knot is because it gives a pivot right there to the fly. When you're cinching down knots with this wire, it's really nice if you just do it in one full movement, kinks it together. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the swivel on the other end of that not too kinky wire. There's a hole in this you're not going to be able to see, but the wire will slide right through that hole. Okay, go ahead and put it through there. Just like that. I'm going to do a clinch knot to put this together. I'm going to do 4 twists. You can go ahead and look up a clinch knot if you need to. What's going to happen here is pretty much the same thing that I just did, but as I work it down like that, there is a groove in that swivel, and what's going to happen is I tighten this down and I hold that groove on the inside of there. You can see, like right now, that's sideways, perpendicular line. There's a groove in there that will allow me to take this and turn it the proper way as I tighten that, so that it will always be outright as I do it. Bill Shearer also showed me one other technique that's really important. I could just take and I could just cut that tag end off of the back, but every once in a while that'll catch some weeds. So what I do to keep from catching weeds and also to keep from catching my hand if I slide my hand down there is I feed that wire back through the hole that I put it through in the first place, and then I trim it off. Just a little tip when you're doing that. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you do, it'll save you a little bit of time pulling weeds and stuff off of your line when you're out there on the water. So there's that. All I'm gonna do now is pull that. That's what I'm talking about right there, feeding it back through. Pull that through. Cut it off. The reason why we do that is because then it's perfectly smooth all the way around there. Don't have to worry about anything else. All right, that's going to attach to your butt section the same way that we attached it to the wire, except instead of doing a clinch knot, I'm actually going to do an improved clinch knot so that it just maintains its strength. And once I do that, it's going to tighten down. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you something. That swivel is in line. It goes from the monofilament butt section, perfection loop, all the way down. Hits that swivel. There's your fly right there. And what's going to happen is when that fly twists, that swivel's going to spin, not going to twist your line. Super good way. When I want to change my fly, I'm not messing with any wire. I'm cutting that swivel right off. I'm taking my new fly. I'm tying that straight to the swivel. That's it. If you've got any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. Comments do the same thing, unless they're negative, of course, right? Hey, subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think. See ya.